through as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Tasia's color getting bugged again. Oh well, we'll have to live with it. Let's make that a best of 5. And here we go, starting off in Old Country, the No Rush finale. Spawning here on the leftmost side of the map, on the top left, pardon me, we have Team Dead Pixels representing Patience and Shrew.
It's weird to put it, but yes.
Or represented
team
by.
also represents.
Yeah.
No technicalities. On the bottom right for Team No Name, it's the purple Terran Tasia and the pink Zerg Revival.
Alright, so Revival and Tasia kind of traded out putting the team on their back in that last time we saw them. Revival with that economy, a Revival with the gold bases and the roaches. I mean, he played incredibly well. Tasia, of course, I think played to the expectations we hold Tasia to. He was able to get a lot of drops off. He was able to play pretty cool as well. But I think one of the biggest things about this is they are the newcomers. They are the challengers to this arena. Whereas these guys aren't exactly defending champions. They did make it to the finals, and they did take Crank and Hart to the Ace Series of the Ace Series. You know, the second winners match in the best of 3 of the best of 3 losers bracket finals. So, well, this time around it's only single elimination, and there is no losers bracket to come up or go to. We still have them returning, and I am really glad to see that they made it through the tournament. I was a little heartbroken to have Team Axiom Pro streamers fall, but at least we got to see one of the returning teams.
Yeah. I'm feeling pretty good for Tasia Revival. Now, I don't know about 3-0 because I was mostly joking beforehand, but I do feel good for their win. We'll just see how they play against the other team in this first map. Now, it's a no-rush map, but we really don't see a lot of people take true advantage of it. I think I saw one team last tournament take the natural as their gold base, or, you know, flip that. And that was cool, but actually Revival does it. Oh, Revival,
well,
I love you in 2v2s.
Well, True does it to start, but Revival
but
follows it
Revival,
up. Yeah.
3 hatch before a pool is even better.
Agreed. I'm just saying they both took their goals, which is actually really nice. And the thing is, this tells me right off the bat they know the map at this point. I know in the last tournament, because it was the first 2v2 thing I think anyone had really seen, nobody really knew the dynamics of this map. Nobody knew that there was kind of that no-rush element. We saw players like Solar trying to run into the rocks in the middle of the map, right? So it's definitely a more refined game.
Yeah. I'm a little surprised that Tasia didn't open up with a Reaper. He's basically the only person who can get that type of scouting. I guess Overlords can get some scouting too, but not quite the same thing. Oh, in fact, this one's gonna die.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Well, okay, so there's some metagaming that is kind of going to go on for this. Let's assume for a moment, and I'm not saying this will be the case, but let's assume for a moment it ends up being like Roach versus Roach or something, or Masslings versus Masslings, and the Zerg players are kind of canceling each other out. The question for me really comes down to what's going to weigh out better. Is the Protoss going to complement the team better, or is the Terran going to complement the team better? Because these players are both good enough that I don't think it comes down to play skill. You would, in a 1v1, definitely give this to Tasia most times, but you know, Tasia and Patience are both so good at the game. In a 2v2, I really don't think that matters as much.
I want to say the Protoss, but only if it was like Crank playing, you know?
Yeah, like the late
that,
game play, like Colossus and whatnot.
Exactly, get up to 4 Colossus and a couple of Sentries and maybe even High Templars if the game goes on that long. But Patience hasn't really been showing that. He has gone for Mass Phoenix once or twice. Almost always open up with Oracle, as most Protosses do. And I'm not sure that Mass Phoenixes will be quite as helpful. They're very helpful against tanks. We saw that. But we're talking in terms of, like, equaling the, like, one more race out, not both. And I don't know. Feel better for Tasia again. But then again, if Tasia's going to be the drop-heavy person that he is, Phoenixes will be the perfect counter.
Yeah, possibly. I really like that he got those 4 costs down, by the way. Not only can you afford this a little bit better because of the earlier gold base, but yeah, it protects against what is expected to be oracles. There's no reason not to open oracles in a 2v2 because there's just a chance it straight up gets you ahead if someone's playing a little too greedy. But the Photon Overcharge should be able to hold this drop. The Pylon I don't think is covered by it though, so that's a little bit annoying. Depowers the Stargate possibly.
Yeah. It's the question of whether or not Tasia decides to try and get out with the medevac, or just says, okay, I'm just going to do as much damage as possible.
Ooh. A little bit dicey with that one of mine. Oh, true.
Ooh.
It's an 8 kill one of mine. Not bad.
Not at all.
I guess detection for the Oracle will be able to help clean that up.
Yeah, maybe he could have caught the Oracle if he was really fast on it, but not so much.
Well, the Phoenix wanted to chase down the Medivac if they could have. Sadly, they missed the mark on that.
We do still have patience going into more
Yo,
Phoenixes.
you liked the greed out of Revival. How do you like it with this greed out of True?
It's actually really nice. If patience takes True's natural, that's really good.
I guess the downside, there isn't really a lot of creep speed from the main to the gold, so if they've got to respond to a defense, it could be a little bit difficult. Revival will scout this in not too much time either, but I am a little bit worried. If this does go to the macro game, the gold base actually I don't think ends up helping that much. It gives you a faster early game, but it's going to mine out much faster. You might not have a secure base later on because, like you said, Patience might take his own bases, or his opponent's base, or his allies' bases, pardon me. Third time's the charm.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Again, there's still a lot of Phoenixes. Like, is this going to be as good as it is versus Easy or ZZ? Like, or is the Terran going to invest in a 1 Thor and, well, nullify it?
Yeah. I guess Thors can be pretty good, just generally speaking, because it'll help cover versus potential Muta swaps too, but we'll see if Tasia goes down that path. For now, Mass Marine and maybe a couple of Marauders could be pretty good as well. Nice seeing Medevac heal a Roach. What? Yeah, there's some cool complementary things that can happen with the players, but I mean, Medevac crossover I don't think is going to be that big of a deal.
No. Neither rocks have been broken, which is a little silly, and a macro game on our hands.
You know what I think would be cool for a Terran Zerg composition? If you had the Zerg player go Roach Hydra and the Terran player play Mech, but you instead of Vikings get Medevacs to heal the Roach Hydra?
Yeah, I guess so. You know what would be a bad composition?
Mutalisk Medevac?
Yes!
We thought that was going to be so good, but it did not help at
I
all.
wasn't entirely on board. I was the one that told you I tried it before and it just never works out.
I think if I had not just gone pure Medevac, it possibly could have worked.
Yeah, maybe that would have helped.
100 supply of Medevacs, as it turns out, folks, by the way, is not good for 2v2s. Not when it's the only thing you have and no Marines or anything behind it.
Yeah, you know, the Muta still won't stack up against 5 Thors and 100 Marines, alright? Just FYI, if anyone was wondering. Oh, True goes into Banelings. Not a bad choice. I mean, they're going to be effective against what Patasia has, but it's also
Marines,
still effective against even if Revival goes for Roaches. We see it all the time in ZVZ.
God, I would love, you know, I feel like Banelings are good and powerful, and that's all well known, but with the gold bases like this, he's going to be able to pump out so many extra Lings. I'm not sure about maxing out the quickest. Revival is, of course, maxing out much faster because he's going for Roaches that, you know, really inflated supply and all, but if he can get enough Banelings, like, let's say, like, 100 plus Banelings, I think that's easy mode for just rolling through Roaches and Marines.
Okay, if you can get there.
That's a big if, though, yeah. We do have the push starting from Tasia and Revival, and once again, they do have a pretty big army value. Not to say True and Patience don't, but I kind of feel like Tasia's and Revival's is going to be a little bit more bursty, a little bit more hard-hitting, a little bit more unexpected. Again, Phoenix can only contribute so much, and it's mostly going to be True 1v2ing the defense. Colossus are on the way, though. If you can buy time, I mean, 2 Colossus being pumped at a time is not bad. However, he doesn't have extended thermal lance for this.
It's still, like, the ultimate question, will anyone get anti-air? Will anyone get Corruptors or Vikings? Oh, a big fight happens. Wow.
Baneling's got some decent connects on the Roaches, actually, but he wastes them all, so to speak, so he doesn't get them on the Marines. And the Marines will just power through what is on the ground. But the Colossus coming with some time warps. However, we did have run-bys through these Roaches, cutting out the drones that were mining off those gold bases.
Very nice. Patience dips down in supply pretty hardcore. Same with True. Revival still going strong. It seems to be his map.
I think the Colossus will win this out, though, given a little bit more time. Despite the fact that there is no extended thermal lance, they will just melt those Marines. But he's seen the broad Roaches. Oh, the Observer's got to turn around and come back for this.
Uh-oh.
Force fields, of course, won't help. This could be so irritating. Yo, Revival, I wish we would see more of this Roach play in 1v1s out of him, because this has been proven to be so good here in 2v2s.
Revival looks so good in 2v2. He should, I mean, I wish there was a league he could join to showcase this. He's like the new Nestea for StarCraft 2, but there's just not.
Oh my goodness. It's like you've got Superman level vision, but you can't see colors. Okay, the roaches are gonna try and sandwich this in, and Tumbling Claws will help him try to escape. Actually, getting out of here pretty nicely, but Tasia is still pushing through, and he takes out one of the gold bases of True. True's still not expanded to his own proper natural yet. He's going to lose another gold base because the army is so focused on these roaches. And truth be told, chasing that one roach is not worth losing 2 gold bases for. Lots of overlords possibly going down. Tasia's going ham on the fact that Patience isn't responding. True, I'm sure, is flipping around and throwing his keyboard in the air. Like, what are you doing? I need you to save my bases. But instead, they both agreed to just go for this big all-in, and I don't think this is going to work.
Well, maybe. 4 Colossus is quite scary. A couple of Mortals as well to deal with a lot of those roaches. This was a composition that he needed when that first attack happened, and he was just seconds late on the Colossus. But now might be the time to make up for it, but oh, they could have been disjointed. Oh, God.
No Marauders necessary. The roach is coming from the backside to catch them as they try to stutter step away, and I think this is looking to be Tasia Revival for game number 1. They've completely shredded the economy. Tasia has not been stopped. This has seriously been a rampage out of these 5 drops.
This is...
That's it.
This was really nicely played. I mean, I called Tasia Revival in the beginning, and I was like, well, maybe this game will just look really poor for them. It looked really strong, so Partoofs would have been made. Should have been made.
Well, before we get too far ahead of ourselves,